Before Cowboy Mouth and before we had a tour bus and had all the fun that we've been having for a very long time, I had all kinds of jobs, and one of them was I was driving a truck for a living. And one day at the end of a really long day, I was driving back out towards the airport down there in New Orleans, and I saw this fella hitching, and I normally pitch up hitchhikers, pick them up, like most truck drivers don't normally pick them up, but I don't know, I just did. He just looked like he needed a lift, and I gave him a lift for a ways. And we got to talking there in my truck, and he was from Kentucky, and he had come down to New Orleans back there in the 80s in my youth to work in the booming oil business in the Gulf Coast down there. And he had left his family back in Kentucky to go down there in New Orleans, and all he was trying to do was get on home and see his family. And we talked about his family, and we talked about him having to leave home to make some money because time was hard in Kentucky. And we got to my stop out there near the airport, and I said, "I'm sorry, fella, but I got to let you out of here." After telling me about his kids and his wife and how far he'd come to make money, he offered me some for the short little ride I gave him, and I said, "No, thank you. You can get on home to your family. That's good enough for me." And I packed up my truck that night, and I went and had a few beers. And walking back home to my place in the French Quarter where I was living at the time, I wrote this song. It's called Hitchhiker. It's on the Cowboy Mouth record called It Means Escape. By the way, in case y'all are ever wondering, the play Cowboy Mouth, written by Sam Shepard, pick it up, read it sometime. The very last line of the play is, "That's why I chose my name. It means escape." Always good stuff. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, home to the loved ones you left far away. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, lonely hitchhiker, hike home. He left in Kentucky, the mountains, his children and wife, for a job in the new promised land. There's work in the oil rigs just south of New Orleans, so save every dollar you can. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, home to the loved ones you left far away. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, lonely hitchhiker, hike home. It's dirty and cold, and the hours go slow as he waits for a letter to brighten his day, and sends his reply that the postman delivers. "Hey kids, did you grow much today?" Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, home to the loved ones you left far away. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, lonely hitchhiker, hike home. I gave him a lift to the interstate junction. He told me his story, I told him my own. He offered me money, but I just shook his hand and said, "Lonely hitchhiker, hike home." Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, home to the loved ones you left far away. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, lonely hitchhiker, hike home. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, home to the loved ones you left far away. Hitchhiker, hike home to your wife and your family, lonely hitchhiker, hike home.